Hello, everyone. I completed my first initial two stages of my Barnes& and Noble Criterion half price sale for the month of July 2021. I've got quite a few to go through. I'm going to make some brief comments on all of them, but I'll try to get through them as quickly as possible so it's not too long of a video. First up is Pickup on South Street. And this is a Sam Fuller movie. I made a video, I published it, I guess, yesterday. So if you're so inclined to listen to that discussion, in which I also talk about the extras on this Criterion release, it's there for you. So I'm not going to spend too much time today. The short answer is it's a great Sam Fuller movie, masterpiece, I would say, with great performances from Richard Widmark, Thelma Ritter, and the picture quality to my untutored eye looked fantastic. Next up is I guess the holy grail of screwball comedies, and that's Bringing Up Baby, probably one of the most desired Blu-rays from the 1930s. Katharine Hepburn, Cary Grant. Movie I've loved all my life. It's loaded with extras. It includes the commentary that Peter Bogdanovich made for the DVD release. I've listened to it. I'm not a big fan of Bogdanovich's commentaries, but I'll listen to it again. And then it's got lots. It's just loaded with new interviews and documentaries, and it should be fabulous. So I'm going to watch the movie later on today. I went to my Barnes & Noble. It's about 10 minutes down the road for me, and it said online it said it was in stock, and of course I couldn't find it on the shelves. It's tough to even, there's hardly any customers. It's a huge Barnes & Noble store, but not many customers and employees, but eventually they did discover that they had not put it out yet in this particular Barnes & Noble. So happy to pick this up. This is just, to me, from the time I was a little kid to today, it's always picked me up in times when I was down, and it's just so full and lively, and I can't wait to see what this 4K restoration looks like on Blu-ray. And it comes with a booklet. I show you this picture of the net when they fall into the river chasing George and Baby, the tame leopard. Next up is The Uninvited, and this is a ghost story, haunted house story. I've always loved this movie. It's not, a great movie, and the director Lewis Allen, I'm not sure that he had a very significant career, but it's got a sense of humor about it that I really love. Ray Milland is really good in this film. Also has a supporting role from Gail Russell, and I there's something about Gail Russell, her vulnerability. It always catches me. She was in a John Wayne Western whose title escapes me at the moment. Donald Crisp is in this movie. I'm anxious to see what it looks like on Blu-ray. This too comes with the booklet. And the next film is a movie from 1948, and this is Moonrise, directed by Frank Borzage. Any followers of this channel know I'm going through a lot of Frank Borzage's movies. This is considered his last probably great film. After 1940, his career, although commercially successful, really he didn't make a whole lot of personal films. Moonrise is definitely one of those personal films, and it's a double feature with The Uninvited because it co-stars Gail Russell. Next up, Young Mr. Lincoln. I can't believe I've never picked up this movie because, as with Bringing Up Baby, it was a staple of my childhood. I remember the days before President's Day when we had two holidays. We had Lincoln's birthday on the 12th of February and Washington's birthday on the 22nd. And in elementary school, at least, when Lincoln's birthday came along, we did a whole lot of study of Lincoln, and he's my own personal historical hero. I think he's many people's historical hero in the last few years. I've had to go back to read some of his speeches, his inaugural addresses, the Gettysburg Address, defining what it means means, what democracy means, what it means to be an American. We need more and more Lincoln. Do they still study Lincoln in school today? I hope so. But of course, this is Lincoln before he becomes president, but we see all these characteristics that would make Lincoln, one of the greatest presidents and one of the greatest influences on history going forward. Next up is Michael Cimino's Heaven's Gate. This is another movie I've had my eye on for a long time. It's been out for quite a while. This is Cimino's personal version of the film. I remember when the movie came out, I saw both the original version. I probably saw that one years later, and the truncated version, because it was a commercial and critical disaster. So they cut out at least an hour, I think, out of the movie for the wide release. So we're back to Cimino's original vision of the film. It's got tons of extras. It's got 2 discs, I believe, so a lot of extras on the second disc. I don't really remember much about the movie. I remember, as far as the storyline at least goes, I remember a lot of dust. But it's a movie that I want to revisit. It's often referred to as the death of the auteur director in Hollywood. I guess in what was this, 1980, where a personal vision in a Hollywood commercial film, it was at an end. But this is just the final nail in the coffin. I think Jaws and the commercially Star Wars, Rocky, they had shown the studios that they didn't need to do this, they spend all this money on a personal vision kind of film, and that these younger directors had discovered the key to commercial success with using old genres from the 50s and even before, serials, the old movie serials, and giving them great production values and a whole lot of expertise. And along with that, I'm going to read this book by Stephen Bach, Final Cut, which is titled Dreams and Disaster in the Making of Heaven's Gate. Came out in 1985, 5 years later, and I read this in 1985, but I thought if I'm going to see the movie again, try to evaluate, because the backstory is just, this is an absolutely brilliant movie about how a director goes overboard and bankrupts the studio and all the storylines along with it. So those are my Hollywood movies. Now we come to some foreign movies, and the first of these is La Vérité. That's Brigitte Bardot on the cover. It's directed by Henri-Georges Clouzot. It's a film I've never seen. I've sort of gotten into Clouzot movies. I've always liked La Diabolique and Wages of Fear, but I saw Manon, one of Clouzot's movies from 1950, and I've suddenly in The Raven as well, and his first, I think, post-war movie. So I'm looking forward to this, and of course Brigitte Bardot, interesting in a non-sex symbol role, and that's from France. This is from Italy. It's Illicit Passo, directed by Dino Risi, starring Vittorio Gassman, Jean-Louis Trintignant, I believe is how you pronounce his name, who go on to become a mainstay of European filmmaking. This is a road movie. This is a special edition kind of Criterion release, just absolutely loaded with extras. I always figure that if you're going to spend money spend a lot of money, more than you might want to on a Blu-ray release, give me lots of extras. And I think it's a really good film. I haven't seen it in a long time. And the next one is probably the most, I'm certain, is the most obscure movie of all these, and that's The Executioner. And that's directed by Luis Garcia Berlanga, a Spanish filmmaker. I did a video on Berlanga. There's 11 of his movies playing on the Criterion channel, all of which I highly recommend. I went through all 11 movies in about 14 days. And this, he has a very unique comic style, just fit into my view of life. And this is his most famous film, The Executioner. It stars the great Nino Manfredi, an Italian actor. This is a Spanish movie, as an executioner. But I particularly wanted to get this because there's a lot of extras on Berlanga, and Berlanga is so unknown. I think this is the only Region A Blu-ray available of Berlanga's films, and I'm not sure there's much in Europe outside of Spain, and the Spanish Region B releases of Berlanga movies, I don't believe have English subtitles. But I'm really looking forward to seeing exactly, one of the extras is a interview with Pedro Almodovar. Again, my pronunciations you have to excuse. Yeah, very successful Spanish director of modern times who views Berlanga as one of his main influences, and I'm really anxious to see that. And there's documentaries that includes interviews with his son and some of the co-workers on the movies that Berlanga made. So that's my Criterion haul for the first week of July. I'll probably go back. I know I want to get one more new release that's coming soon. I think the last week in July. And that's La Passine with Alain Delon and Romy Schneider. And I can't pass that up. And I'll probably pick up a couple more as well. There's no way I can go in at a half price Criterion sale and just pick up one movie. I'm not sure that's within the realm of possibility. So anyways, that's my purchases in this particular sale. If you have, I'd love to see comments on any of these movies of mine that you've seen and what you've bought. Other than that, thanks a lot for listening. As always, take care, and I'll catch you next time.